But in reading this morning the course of the 10 Sacred Secrets of Success, I wanted to just explore the idea of what we eat could also cause our success. Does everyone know the faith called the Jains from India? Jains?
Yes.
Yeah. They're a prominent religion in India. And not only are they vegetarians, they're vegans. But not only are they vegans, they don't eat anything that would harm anyone. So for instance, they don't even eat honey. They don't take, probably not maple syrup either. They probably don't even know what it is, but it's the blood of a tree, as most of you know. They don't do dairy, and yet, they're the most prosperous people on the money plane area, or the dollar, in all of India. The peace that they have from what they eat and all their prayers and their reverence for the Creator has been matched on the earth plane. We like to frequent chain shops, and there's one in particular in Delhi. And the beauty of it, he sells antiques, antique jewelry and antique things, old things from India. The beauty of it is he never tries to sell you anything. He lets you just observe, enjoy, and if it's Creator's will, you'll purchase something. And I have never forgot that first experience at that particular shop. And then to find out afterwards from somebody how prosperous the Jains were. So we might look at success comes from reverence to God, or to whatever you want to call God. I don't care, you can call it science, something that divided ourselves, which I don't think is anybody in this room, am I right? I don't think I have the power, nor anyone, to divide cells to grow something, to grow, say, a human being. And so with all of that in mind, and as we look at this glorious day in Munich, and really assess inside our own souls, what is my success? Do we equate success to happiness? I think we do. I do. And then would you say every rich person is happy? And I think most of us would say probably not. So therefore that almost takes that out of the equation. Money does not create happiness, which I think yogis know by now. So the other opposite. I was given a book by the author. We just came back from India, first stopping a week in Antwerp, Belgium, to finish the teacher's training course. This morning after sadhana, and our adventure of 2 hours trying to get here, which we never did, we walked along that Strasser that has Gucci and Armani and I don't know what that is, but it's the fancy pants place, right? So I'm walking after reading about his trials and tribulations, looking for his guru, fasting, living in caves, doing all of his abstinence to find his soul. I'm walking down, and my husband too, and we commented, and seeing how Maya is so luring. Does everyone know what Maya means? The attraction of everything outside of yourself to satisfy and bring you happiness. So I'm always left with that same question. And I was talking to our beautiful friends in the back, saying, I think it would be easier to be a sadhu, or be one that doesn't have a choice. You know what I mean? Like if you decided, I am celibate, I have a begging bowl, I don't have anything, and I make that a commitment, and I turn my head to anything on the outside. I have 2 robes and a begging bowl and on and on. I think in many ways it's way easier than that, than the way we all live as householders. That's the other side of the yogic path. Because we are being lured, and we made no rule or commitment, I shall not buy anything, I shall be celibate, I shall abstain from blah, blah, blah. And so we have this choice. And the choice, either we become owned by the choice or we own the choice. Does this make sense so far? Because I'm leading into the idea of really what success is. And we know it's not how much you own and how much money you make, what kind of car you drive, what kind of brand clothes you wear. All of us yogis know, but yet does that mean that we don't buy things? No. So I play with this all the time. When I wanted to, I began this trip in 1970. I begged my teacher, Yogi Bhajan, that I wouldn't have to marry. And he said, no, you have to marry this lifetime. Because you've done it well as a sadhu. You've done it well as a renunciate. You've done that well. Now you have to step in the world and see how well you can do this. Because this, in many ways, is way harder than becoming a nun or a monk or a renunciate in the Himalayas of India. And I think because we're all here, it's suggesting that you aren't monks, nuns, priests, and you're not abstaining from society and material wealth. So then the balance is, how does one balance it all? Watching myself being so attracted by so much beauty that humans have created. If it's a purse, if it's shoes, if it's a new cell phone, if it's a new car, or whatever it is, your pleasure, jewelry. We do know that we'll never get filled and satisfied with it. So does it mean then you just never do it? No. But I do believe there's a balance. And I'm watching myself on that balance. And I think the greatest balance that can be given to give us the success is to first be a giver. Because if that's your prominent action, how can I give? Can I give a smile? Can I give words of upliftment? Can I give a hug? Can I give a gift? If that's constantly in your mind of what you can give, then you really never have to be concerned about what you get. Because it's a law. It's a law. But if your number one is, what am I getting out of this? Out of a marriage, out of a relationship. And I really think that that is the secret of success, is to be a giver first, but not a controller. And when somebody wants to give you something, to receive it, because it's what makes the circle. It's what makes infinity. It's what makes the connection of the oneness of us all. And I had such a wonderful experience, we both did, in Antwerp, where we finished a third week over the last 6-7 months of our teacher's training course there. And I left them with a couple words on the closing dinner that night. Is anybody from Belgium here? Then I can speak freely of Belgium. One of the parting words that we said, because we had experienced this 2 or 3 times going to restaurants, asking them to do something, because we're vegetarians, I'm a vegan, and can you just put some side vegetables on a plate, like from their meat dishes. Like, I knew they had potatoes. No, we can't do that. And we said, why? Because it's not on the menu. And this was totally that country. So we went to a tea room. Nikki took me to a very prestigious, because she wanted me to experience it. And we sat there, and they had some smoothies besides the tea and the coffee and all that. And I said, Nikki said, do you think you could please take some of the fruit from the smoothie and just cut it up and make a little fruit bowl for us? No, it's not possible. And we said, why? Because it's not on the menu. So, my closing speech was, get off the menu. Get off the menu. Break the rules in this country. Give them an experience of self, because they need to come off the menu. And they all laughed, but they knew exactly what. But that's, to me, what yoga is doing now. It's taking you off your rigidity, off your prejudices, off, well, I thought my mother said, or I'm from a country. It also takes you off of your baggage, meaning everything that you came with. My mother, my father, my heritage, my faith. You know, my parents were in the war, and then my mother did this. My father was an alcoholic. We all have stories that would probably make each one of us cry. No one had, well, I just grew up ordinary. No, we all have a story. We all have a reincarnation with a specific father, a specific mother, a specific location of which we were born. But how much can we let go in this lifetime? How does one let go? Another secret of success, through forgiveness. It's the only way. True forgiveness, deep forgiveness. It's got to be the kind of deeper understanding. And because one of the biggest components is a forgiving heart. And Jesus said it, Father, forgive them. What did he say? No one knows. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Do you think people like being miserable? No. Because their true essence is to live from the heart and to be a lover and to be a giver. They just got programmed incorrectly in their mother's womb, first 3 years of their lives, for we're all subjects of that now. We're sitting here basically as 7-year-olds. Because that's really when the learning ended. And then the patterning ended, and then you live those patterns, live the pattern, live the pattern, and then something happens. Maybe it's a disease, maybe it's a tragedy, maybe it's a broken heart that brought you to a yoga class or a meditation class, or to seek something that would take the pressure and the pain out of your lives. And then we start changing. How do we change? Kundalini Yoga, we change by the cellular level. The memories of that which was not the truth, that you're healthy, happy, holy, which you are always, they start lifting. And how can you tell? You just feel happier. People will say to me, you know, my husband used to bug me so much, and now he does the same thing, but he doesn't bug me anymore. Do you think it's the yoga? I say, yeah. So you've got little indications of how your life changes through really, basically, breath. Breath heals everything. And it does. How you breathe is how you live. There was a beautiful Indian man in Antwerp. He had gone just recently to Bihar, and he took a woman who had MS with him. He took her up to some Ayurvedic center, and within 3 days, through breath, she breathed for 1 hour and then relaxed, breathed for 1 hour. It was 3 to 5 days. She went home totally healed through breath. So as you breathe is as you live. And if you ever study really, really criminals, which they've done studies on, in the act of doing something violent, or even mean, or sarcastic, or angry, you're not breathing. It's shallow, teeny, weeny breath. When you breathe with pranayama deeply, you live deeply. And it's the law. And so we have the greatest healer right inside our bodies. And we seek so much. We have the greatest happiness inside our bodies. So today, we will have a wonderful experience, I pray, within our own bodies. Okay?